You look great, by the
Thank
way.
you, thank you.
It's a beautiful blouse.
Thank you. I just love the purple one. That's
Yeah, you're the big purple fan. Me
So-
too. I like it too.
I know somebody told Rick one time he has a face for radio, but I disagree. I think he always looks good too.
As long as he keeps
Why
the
am I
beard.
being brought into this? I'm just standing here.
What's Rick do to you?
No, it's just no. I was laughing because I was talking about my purple jacket on the radio.
Right.
So that's silly because
Yeah.
I could be wearing anything in that, you know. So it's like if I did play-by-play, I would say, "Did you see that? Did you
Is
see
it
that?"
true he wears a beard because he looks too much like his brother
That
when
is
he
true.
doesn't have it? Yeah.
When we were dating, it was actually the mustache. Actually, he didn't always have the beard, but he picked me up from work. We were just dating, and he had shaved his mustache, and he looked like his brother. I don't dislike his brother, but I was in high school with his brother, and I wasn't dating him. I was dating Rick, and I
Right.
kept doing this, covering it up because it creeped me out.
How'd you two meet?
We were set up on a blind date.
Really?
It's kind of funny because one of my best friends from school, all the way growing up, lived next door to him.
Uh-huh.
But she's not the one that set us up. I had a friend who was trying to set me up with this one guy. And then and I really didn't want to be set up with anybody, but I was going along with it because whatever. And then she started dating that guy, and Rick was that guy's best friend.
Oh.
And then, so he was, I guess, the consolation prize. But I would have never liked the guy she was trying to set me up with.
Yeah.
And after our first date, neither one of us ever dated anyone else. And it was just one of those instant, wow.
Yeah.
You know. So
I
and
got
that
into
was,
something I couldn't get out of.
you sure did.
And coming up on 33, is that
Tomorrow.
tomorrow? Is it really tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yep, tomorrow's 33 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had a friend tell
Oh, by
me.
the way, don't make any plans for tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. You either. No, I had a friend
Oh, I've
tell
already
me.
made plans. Okay.
I had a friend that told me that she heard of somebody breaking up. She said, "You and Rick had better not ever do that." And I said, "Do you think I'm joking when I say he's not getting out of this thing alive? I'm serious."
That's right.
So,
If I don't show up one day for work, start looking for a body.
Yeah, well, that's the first on
do
the
you
list.
really
Call
think?
Sonia.
Do you really think I would be that stupid that they'd be able to find your body?
You know
All
what?
the
That's
books I
true.
read and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all heard it here, live and in person.
But that would be the most insane thing in the world for me to do, to kill Rick, because he does everything for me. That would be so stupid. Why would I do that? You know.
Okay, well, what's going on in
Anyway,
insurance?
okay.
It is the Brian insurance tip of the week.
Well, okay, I do have something insurance to talk about, but I do want to tell y'all that last night we went out to eat, ran into a couple. We were at a meeting actually, ran into a couple, and you know how I always said I wanted a tagline like some of those other people have.
Mhm.
Well, mine is I'm Rick's wife and I'm an insurance agent. That's my new tagline. So
Oh,
because
okay.
we were telling this story, Rick has this stalker. It's a long story. And the first
Is that the one that comes to the football
Uh-huh.
games?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
down when Matt, who is in college now, in his 5th year of college now, was a freshman in high school. We didn't know who the guy was. And he walked up to me and said, "Are you Rick's wife?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's so cool." And this is a grown man. And I was just joking around. I said, "It's probably not as cool as you think it is, you know." So anyway, but it was funny. So when we were, long story, we were talking about it, these friends last night. I thought, that's my tagline. I'm Rick's wife and I'm an insurance agent. So if you know
Okay.
Rick, call me. Okay, but what about insurance? But what I want to talk about, I try to talk about this a lot in the summertime because we have people whose kids are going off to college, and this also applies to anybody who lives in a house that they don't own. But what you might not think of is your student going to college, especially if they're in an apartment or a house. Some colleges, if they're in a dorm, will provide some type of insurance, so you need to check all the angles. But it's called renter's insurance, and it's designed to give insurance for your content, your stuff, and then liability insurance. It's very inexpensive. There's various factors. Of course, it depends on how much stuff. So like our son that's in college, he's sharing a house with 5 people. He doesn't own that much stuff. We have the coverage for him. I think it costs us $250 a year. It's very cheap.
Oh, wow,
But
yeah.
it also gives them liability. And you're thinking, well, why does a college kid need liability? And we had a change in some of the details. The people aren't from around here at all, but one of our clients has a son that was in a fraternity at a university in another state. And this young man was not at this event, but the fraternity sponsored an event, and somebody drank too much and died, and they sued every member of the fraternity.
Yeah, they were members.
And no, he wasn't found guilty, but he had to defend it. Now, you need to talk to your agent because some homeowners policies will have that personal injury coverage and some won't. Tenant homeowners, so I'm not saying it's always covered, but that's why they need liability, because of the defense. And so, his policy, and then his dad's had to kick in too a little bit because, he only had 100,000 liability, and his dad, he was still a dependent of his dad. But it was a nightmare of a situation. He wasn't guilty and was found not guilty, but they had to, his insurance companies pay with lawyers to defend him. And so, so everybody needs liability coverage, and you have your auto liability for when it's related to a vehicle, but you need a homeowner's or a tenant homeowner's policy to give you personal liability, whether somebody gets hurt on your premises or you turn into one of those personal injury kind of things. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, and it's, like I said, it's very inexpensive. It's gonna cost more if you own everything in the house, and it's gonna be more than $250 because it depends on how much coverage you want and where you live and all that, but it's very inexpensive. Everybody that lives in a house that they don't own should at least get a quote, so.
Very good. Anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. I think
Okay,
I told
can
enough stories.
can I jump in?
Of course.
I really want to compliment Bryan Insurance, and I want to compliment the whole insurance process. Let me tell you, the last time, I was trying to think of when it was that I ever had to file a claim. And it was back in 1999. It was a satellite dish that was next to a building in Abilene, and the satellite dish broke off. One of the brackets broke, and it swung around and it slammed into an office building window. Well, it's one of those big high-rise type buildings.
Right.
And it broke the glass, and the insurance took care of it. Not only that, but took care of the satellite dish. Okay. Well, I had to file a claim a little over a week ago. And within 1 week, the decision was made to do the process. And by the way, I just can't get over how fast you guys at Bryan got connected with Hartford Insurance. Hartford evaluated the whole thing. They came back and said, we don't want you to replace that same transmitter. We want you to get a better one because we're replacing too many of that type of transmitters. So we have two favorites that we're not seeing a lot of lightning strikes. So we went through that whole process, and believe it or not, they made the deposit into the account on Monday. And because they classified it into basically glorified computer equipment, because it is connected and we have to run it through the internet and everything, it qualified for a much less deductible than I expected. So this whole process has been very painless, and the follow-up from you guys, and I don't know if it's just because of me, but I've heard nothing but good things about you guys.
Obviously, we want to take good care of you, but we want to take good care of all of our customers.
Right.
And I want to give Ashley Alejo and Brad Bryan, they immediately, after you talked, they got together, looked at the policy to make sure. Companies will usually take care of it, but we always want to point out, don't forget they have this type of coverage, just to make it faster for them. And so they've gone on top of it, and that's what we want to happen every time. Some claims are more complicated and unfortunately can't be settled that quickly, but as quick as possible. And
when I moved it down, I guess right after I moved here, or right around the time I moved here, Denny passed away.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of question, oh boy, what's gonna happen now? Y'all haven't missed a beat.
The leadership over there, of course losing Denny is horrible and we'll always feel it, but he taught our staff well.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, y'all did fantastic, and I appreciate it. I hope I don't have to claim another one for another 15 or 20 years.
Well, you did good if you went from 09 to 19, or
Yeah.
99 to 19. That's a really good stretch.
Well, I had asked Stacy. In fact, Stacy had to remind me. I said, have we ever had to do a claim on the insurance? And she said, yeah, that satellite dish that busted the window.
Yeah.
Now, if it had just broke the mount and the dish broke, it did. It messed up
Yeah.
really bad. It was, you know how high the winds can get.
Oh, yeah.
And it broke it off and just basically made it go airborne and into one of those big high-rise building glass
But that
windows.
was exciting.
Well, yeah,
Everybody
you
was
know,
in there.
that window, that one window pane, whatever that size was like over $2,000
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good. That process went really smooth, but thank you for everything this time.
Sure, we're glad it went well.
All right, hopefully no more lightning
Well,
strikes.
you know where to get me
Done
if
it.
there are.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.